Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Family Moments, where we use really cool object lessons
that teach the truth about what matters most.
Exactly. And today, we continue our 5-episode series called DC Talk as we visit some of the main attractions in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C.
So what are we going to see today?
Oh, Sadie, today we're going to visit one of the most famous sites, Arlington Cemetery.
Arlington Cemetery?
Yes, it's one of the most beautiful tourist stops in all of
Wait, we're going to a cemetery?
Well, yeah, why?
Sounds kind of depressing. Can we go someplace a little more exciting?
And just what did you have in mind?
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking like the International Spy Museum. I heard that's supposed to be pretty cool.
Ow, brother.
That's a big negative for now. We'll stay in touch. Over and out. You didn't see that.
Hey kids, Pastor Robbie here, along with my lovely assistant and wonderful daughter, Sadie.
Hello.
And today, we're going to have some fun learning about the unknown soldier.
The unknown soldier? Who's that?
Well, if I knew, then he wouldn't be called the unknown soldier, would he?
Good point. So we're gonna see a cemetery?
Well, not just any cemetery. Arlington Cemetery is the most popular cemetery in the whole country.
Most popular? Who wants to visit a cemetery?
Well, apparently 3 million people want to visit this one every year.
3 million people? Why?
Because it's awe-inspiring. It's dedicated to the memory of the many men and women who have served in the U.S. military as far back as the Civil War in the 1860s.
Interesting. So it's pretty big.
You have no idea. The cemetery covers 639 acres of beautiful rolling green hills with over 8,500 trees. While there are roughly 400,000 veterans buried here, including some famous people like President Taft, President Kennedy, boxer Joe Louis, who served in the Army, it's also famous for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier.
Do tell.
Well, the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is not only the most visited section, but it's also the most hallowed grounds of the cemetery. Located on a hill on high ground at almost the perfect geographic center of the property, the tomb signifies valor and honor by remembering those who died committing brave and selfless acts with no one to bear witness to them.
You mean they died for a country and no one really knows the details?
Exactly. The space is so special that it's guarded by soldiers 24 hours a day.
So there are people who are buried here and we don't even know their names?
Right. But do you know what it says on the tomb?
No, what?
It's inscribed with the words, "Here rests in honored glory an American soldier known but to God."
Known but to God?
Yes, it goes well with today's verse from Psalm 139, verses 13 through 18, where it says, "For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. How precious to me are your thoughts, God. How vast is the sum of them. Were I to count them, they would outnumber the grains of sand. When I awake, I am still with you."
So God knows us even if no one else does.
Exactly. In John 10:14 through 15, it says, "I am the good shepherd. I know my own, and my own know me. Just as the Father knows me, and I know the Father, and I lay down my life for the sheep."
So being known or popular doesn't matter to God. What's important is that He created each of us and knows each of us personally.
And intimately. God knows each of our names, our stories, everything. We're very important to Him.
Obviously, if He died for us,
Not only did he die for us, he died for us before we were even born.
Now that is hard to wrap my brain around.
Me too. So when we see the thousands and thousands of beautiful grave markers, we can either be bummed or we can rejoice that the Lord knows each of them by name, and He cares deeply for each of them. And while it's a solemn experience, it's powerful and encouraging.
Wow, well, I never thought I'd be saying this, but let's go check out the cemetery.
Are you serious?
Dead sea. Let's just go.
Good call. Arlington National Cemetery honors those who have fought for our country's freedom. Arlington is the only national cemetery to hold servicemen from every war in the United States history. It's not just a cemetery for soldiers. War correspondents, chaplains, military nurses, and doctors are also buried there. While more than 2,000 unidentified soldiers lie beneath the tomb of the Civil War unknowns, estimates indicate that nearly half of the Civil War dead were never identified. An average of 25 burials are performed every day at the cemetery. And nearly 4,000 former slaves are buried in Section 27, land that used to be known as Freedmen's Village, Arlington's first free neighborhood. About 95,000 burial spaces remain at Arlington, but 22 million living armed forces members are eligible for them. Believe it or not, the cemetery grounds once belonged to George Washington's grandson. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier is guarded 24/7, rain or shine, 365 days a year. When on duty, a sentinel marches 21 steps down the black mat behind the monument's sarcophagus, then waits 21 seconds before taking another 21 steps back. Why 21? It represents the highest symbolic honor, the 21-gun salute. Tomb guards must go through rigorous training to become a sentinel. These include superb physical condition, immaculate military record, and certain height restrictions. He or she must also memorize 7 pages of cemetery history verbatim and learn the guard change ceremony. Once training is complete, the soldier must score a 95% or higher on a test to get their temporary tomb guard badge. But they don't earn their permanent badge until they've completed 9 months of honorable service for the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. So, Sadie, what did you learn today?
I learned that Arlington Cemetery is the largest, most visited cemetery in the United States. It's beautiful and honoring to those who fought for our country's freedom, including the unknown soldiers.
Exactly.
And even though there are many unknown soldiers, God knows everyone's name. He created us, knows everything about us, and cares deeply for us.
Very good.
Now, since we didn't go to the Spy Museum, I decided to share my latest spy gadget.
Oh, really? What's that?
It's my disappearing wand. Simply hold it out like this and click the button and voila!
What in the world? How did you do that?
Simple. Just click it to disappear and again to reappear.
Okay. Well, this looks cool. Looks like we've got some fun ahead of us, and for the rest of you, we'll see you around.